There we go. I've consumed the fluids. How's everybody doing? Thought I would give y'all a little bit of an update on everything because last time I streamed was at the hospital on the crappy hospital Wi-Fi. It's honestly not the hospital's Wi-Fi so much as it is my tablet is terrible. So yeah. Hey guys, welcome in. Hello, hello. First stream since I was in the hospital. Got a lot of updates to talk about and stuff. So, yay. Excuse me, I have a burp. Excuse me. So, some of y'all know I was in the hospital because I got COVID. Hey, Bo, I'm doing okay. But I was in the hospital because I had COVID and a blood clot in my lung. Very small blood clot, but a blood clot nonetheless. And they kept me in for what, 3 days? Ooh. I'm glad you're not too badly hurt. That is one benefit is we don't have much snow, therefore we don't get as much ice. We can, we just don't as much. But yeah, I was in for 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yes. Oh, it was 3.5 days. But yeah, so they found out I had a blood clot in my lung, a very small one, but a blood clot nonetheless, which causes a lot of pain. Just in case you're ever wondering, blood clots in your lungs hurt. Like when I was in the hospital, I was on pain meds around the clock. So at home I am on some meds. It's a cough medicine, but it has hydrocodone in it. So, it's 2 birds with 1 stone. It keeps the edge off the pain and helps the cough calm down. Just because I do have the blood clot, they don't, they want me coughing and breathing deep and stuff. But they didn't want to do a ton of it right away with the blood clot. Because they didn't want to dislodge the blood clot and have it travel somewhere else. But I'm doing okay. When I'm up and sitting, like right now, it's a little harder to breathe. Or if I'm walking around or going to the bathroom, I get very winded. If walking, especially. But all in all, it's still doing pretty good. Like I didn't have a horrid, severe case of COVID. I should say. I still have it. I'm not cleared until the 28th. But, it's the recovery from COVID that sucks the most. It's just like, we don't know where this is, how this is going to affect my body in the future either, because, COVID can cause so much lasting damage. Like we have athletes that were, tested positive for COVID, but were asymptomatic, who have permanent heart disease now, things like that. So we don't know how this is going to affect me. Right now, we do know that my heart is a little enlarged, and that I'm just kind of inflamed in general. Wow. Yeah, when they do it, yeah. Well, I hope you are all doing okay and recover well from the accident. By the way, Leo is a demon today, just in case you're wondering. He started off adorable as fuck. He came, I woke up at 6 and he climbed up in bed with me and was like sitting next to me purring. And he got down, he came back and he just wanted pets. And like when I finally got up and came downstairs, he was all Mr. like, I want pets and snuggling and rolling around adorably and all that. Now he's just being a twerp. You are not eating your brother's food. No. Lay down. He keeps side-eyeing me. He's right here on the. We have a TV tray in here for Hannah stuff, and he's sitting on top of it. He has systematically cleared off the TV tray for his purposes. He didn't even do it all the way on purpose, but kind of on purpose. So, but let me have a little sip of coffee. Anyway, next, this is where it gets interesting. So I don't know if you guys remember, but when I was in the hospital, we had, I don't know if I mentioned this even, I was having issues with my dressing for my pup staying on. It would just like lift off. It looked like it was leaking, like the needle itself was leaking, or around the needle was leaking. We redid it, and that one stuck. They used a different Tegaderm, which I like better anyway. Except for the fact, which this is not due to the IV team necessarily, but what I think happened is that my body was pushing a stitch. You'll know I had a stitch that came out of it the other day, or a couple weeks ago, and then I think what happened was it was doing the same thing, but because it was covered up, I couldn't see that. And also, because it was access and everything, it didn't open, like it didn't allow the stitch to come through properly. So basically what I think happened was a pocket of fluid formed around that stitch. And once I got home, I hadn't noticed it because they cover it up when they de-access. But when I went to go take a shower, was like a crusty, scabby thing over part of my port, and I'm like, the nurse didn't mention it, and I'm like, And I touched it, and it went pew. Out came a bunch of like clear fluid with some blood through it and whatnot. And I kind of internally freaked out for a moment, like, holy shit, no. IV, thank you. But the fluid was pretty clear. And somebody in one of my groups suggested it may have been a seroma, which is a pocket of fluid that forms after surgery that is harmless and usually goes away on its own. May have been that as well. But either way, it was open, so I started like covering it and keeping it as, taken care of as possible as I can from home, because it didn't look infected or anything like that. Well, then the day before, it was Saturday night. Hang on, was it? No, it's Tuesday. It was Sunday night. Sorry, Sunday night. I'm like, I know I was home from the hospital longer than that. Sunday night, or Saturday during the day, I started noticing that the whatever was seeping out of it had gone from clear to a very yellow-looking pus, and I was like, oh, fuck. So I talked to Andrew and Hannah. They decided it was important that I went to the emergency room to get it checked out, get blood work drawn, and all that. Well, they cultured it and all that, and they had to put in an IV because they wanted the doctor, they called the surgeon that did my port, and he wanted them to do a round of IV antibiotics. But we couldn't access the port because the infection is right above it, and if you access it right now, that would have been bad. So they did an IV. They did blood IV. I got poked 3 times. And then they sent me home with a message from the surgeon saying, come see me tomorrow. So we went in there, and he numbed me up, cleaned it out, and then I have stitches again. I kind of thought that's one of the reasons I was going to the ER, is like, what if they need to put a stitch in it to close it up? They didn't touch it. I mean, they did touch it, but they didn't. They're like, we're not going anywhere near that right now. We're calling the surgeon. We're gonna, yeah. So we're hoping that with what he did yesterday, we'll be able to save the port. It depends on if bacteria comes back. I am currently on 2 antibiotics. One is a broad spectrum antibiotic, and one is specifically targeted toward MRSA because I've had MRSA several times in the past. So my body hates antibiotics in the first place, and being on 2 of them is really sucky. So there's that. And then, of course, I have to, like, this is the first medication I've ever had any form of reaction to since the mast cell was these antibiotics. And that's just a common thing. People with mast cell especially react to antibiotics. Hopefully this dose I took just a couple hours ago is not going to do the same thing because I got super itchy yesterday. I am on Benadryl around the clock right now. I'm not even bothering, not even going to try not to do Benadryl around the clock because I don't want a reaction. I don't want to need IV access and not be able to get it. Yeah, so that's kind of that. But I still don't have much of an appetite, which kind of kicked me in the butt last night because I just didn't have the stomach to eat yesterday. Almost at all. I ate a couple of boiled eggs in the morning, like morning. Not afternoon. Mid-morning. Hannah made dinner. I tried to eat it. I couldn't. My stomach just was like, no. And then I had a little microwave mac and cheese later on in the night. And that's all I ate yesterday. But I woke up with a raging low blood sugar attack. Yeah. I don't do well on amoxicillin. I'm not allergic to it, but I don't do well with it. I don't do well with antibiotics in general because it clears your gut of all the good bacteria and it just, but yeah, so that's the fun bit of it. It gives me diarrhea and it makes it really hard to control my bowel when I'm on an antibiotic. Oh my god, I forgot I have to show you guys something. So, a little bit of backstory. We'll talk about this real. No, we won't talk about that. Hang on. Not backstory. But you guys have to meet Benedict. Named after Benedict Cumberbatch. I call him Ben or Benny. He is the softest thing ever. By the way, guys, if you want plushies that are really good quality and really super soft and well made, go to Target. This thing is so soft. So soft. Every plushie we've gotten from Target is a really good quality. So, but there's a couple of stories to Benny, with Benny. But recently, we have kind of made a shift in how our ABDL relationship in our households work. Y'all know Andrew's been daddy, then there's Ellie, Andrew's also puppy, Hannah's also a mommy. But Andrew was having a lot of mental health issues as far as anxiety, depression, different things. And due to the fact that he was really not doing well mentally, according to me, what he told me was he was in that place again. That typically means borderline suicidal or just super, super dark. And Hannah made the decision kind of to, she made the decision in her head, talked to him, and yeah. We've made the decision that we are going to have Puppy B at the forefront, and Daddy is going to take a break. And before you guys all say anything about it, I'm good with this, but I will tell you why. I did struggle with it. I'm not gonna lie. The day he told me, my initial reaction was like, okay, we'll see how it works. That night, I just burst into tears. I could not stop myself. Burst into tears. And because it basically, at the moment, because we hadn't even sat down and talked much about anything and how it was going to work and whatnot. So I was told this is what we're going to try. And it basically felt like, at least to my little side, it felt like I had been broken up with. Um, and I was so sad. And I needed, the plan was to kind of ease into it a little bit. That didn't happen. And Andrew and Hannah admit to the way they did things was not the right way to do things. But I had a breakdown and was like, dude, you have to give me time because basically you just told a little that there is no more daddy. Um, Mind you guys, I would do anything if it meant Andrew was mentally happy and calm. He has ADD, he has some OCD, he is also bipolar, sort of. I don't know if he's officially bipolar or not, but and he does not do well on the medications for them. They kind of tend to have the opposite effect on him. Instead of helping with depression and anxiety, it actually causes more. Yeah, I'm gonna put Benny down. Causes more. And so we talked about it. I felt better for the night. Well, then not the following night, but yesterday. Was it yesterday? Sunday night. No, Sunday morning. I was up with Andrew a lot. We were up earlier than Hannah, and hadn't really talked to Hannah about it all that much. And the way things were in the morning, like they weren't bad. He wasn't doing nothing bad. But basically, it kind of put me in the position of being the big for the morning. And Kai/me never reacted well to being in charge of Puppy at all. So he was kind of just in the very little headspace. Hi. And I ended up just having a meltdown, like a full fucking blown meltdown. Worse than the other night. Like, legit, I was probably sobbing for like an hour. And I yelled and got mad and melted down and blah, 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 blah. Ended up waking Hannah up because we were that loud. And Hannah joined the conversation. In that conversation, we decided that I can't just function on Andrew being Puppy, not Daddy, and be okay. I don't, and it's not that he wasn't going to do Daddy. He was just going to do Daddy in short bursts. Like, say, he helps me with my bath, or he helps me change a diaper, or he tucks me in, those types of things. But he wasn't handling being Daddy full time. So Hannah joined the conversation. Mind you, I was still in a sobbing mess. But basically, she kind of said to me that she's like, I'm totally willing to do some big stuff for you, like to be Hannah and I have a dynamic that she could never be mommy. It's just not the dynamic we have. But I do recognize her as a big. So she said, at least for now, if we find someone down the road, great. If we don't, okay. She is willing to kind of take Kai along with Puppy a little bit, not to the level that Puppy is necessarily, but she's willing to act as babysitter, basically. Temporary guardian, which is so far going well. Here's the other thing. This is where it was kind of funny, and where also Kai got a lot of. Sorry, I'm filling my e-cig, guys. It takes forever with this tip. We were talking still, and I told him it's still it hurts, because it's like this is like yes, this is super important for Andrew. Like you guys can't even fathom how important this is for Andrew right now. Just on a level of keeping his mind okay. He struggles with a lot of things and guilt and stuff like that. He's just been struggling really badly. And with all this work stuff and COVID and shit, he's been really, really struggling. But anyway, so I was legit melting down, and I was crying, and I'm like, I can't do this, this, and this, and Hannah pops up, and she's like, no, you know what? We're not giving you the choice. She grabs my blankie, drapes it over my shoulder where I always put it. She grabs my my plushie, hands me Benny, and then she binked me. I burst into tears again, like just all over again, because that felt really good. And it was that moment and talking to her and stuff that we made that decision um, to try it this way. So long as I asked Andrew, Andrew was in here, he was fine. I asked Annie. Basically, the reason I wasn't doing this before is because I never wanted to encroach upon Andrew's standing with mommy. I didn't ever want him to feel like he wasn't getting the attention he needed from her. So I purposely wasn't allowing Brain to go little at all. I basically was going to go on a purge over all this, and but I didn't. So we've made the decision that while Hannah's not my mommy, she's not going to do diaper changes and things like that, just because, like I said, her and I are just not at that space where that's a thing. Now, if it was absolutely necessary that I needed someone to change me, she would. But that's just something we're not comfortable with each other. So, but she is going to do things like include me in bottle time and possibly tucking in and things like that. And just in general being the attitude of a big, so that Kai can do a more natural state of being. Because as a little, I feel like there's a few different kinds of littles. Andrew puts it like being puppy is not something he cannot do. He has to do it. It's part of who he is. It's just he is puppy. Same with Kai. I am Kai, and I can't just shut it off. I can push him back. I can tell him to go behind the wall, and he will, but it causes damage. But I kept talking to Andrew. I'm like, I want to be able to be comfortable with puppy, because there's been a lot of trauma surrounding that for both of us. And we're going to really focus on the relationship between Kai and puppy. Instead of so much Brittany and Andrew, we have to focus on Kai and puppy. And with Hannah stepping up and saying, I'll do the thing. Even though she doesn't do that much, allowing me to kind of freeform, go back and forth between little and big and however much I need to do that with a big present felt a lot better. Like I don't do well going into a little headspace when my caregiver is not involved. You know what I mean? So that was the problem I was mainly having. It's just like I don't do well with that. So with her stepping up to the plate, I am in this state of, I'm kind of like, right now I'm adultish, but the next 5 seconds I could be little and back and forth, type of deal. Being a little bit more, allowing Kai that freedom to just exist and to pull back when he wants and to come back when he's wanting to. So thus far, since we've had that conversation, I feel really good about it. Because don't get me wrong, I love Puppy so much. He's Andrew, when he is puppy, is just this adorable, happy, cuddly little thing. He is just, never been more happy than when he's in that state. Um, so for me, that's always meant something bad. If he is puppy, it meant Kai was gone, or Daddy was gone, and Kai didn't function well with that. But we're gonna try it this way. Also, once Luke and Annie move here, Luke is a big. While he's not necessarily up to doing a ton, he's also the type that is gonna probably take a little under his wing. So, but yesterday was really good. Just like, well, the day started off a little bit bad for Andrew. He was having a lot of anxieties. Because his biggest fear is that mommy's gonna get tired of puppy and tell him to go away again forever. Not gonna happen. Hannah is actually more of a big than she is a little. That was part of our conversation as well. Her little side is just this little emotional release, whereas for me, it's literally that is me. So it's more natural for her to be in the mommy state. But we had a really cute night with Andrew. It was really super fun. Not even that we did anything, but he was really adorable. And I'm putting my foot forward and saying, I'm going to do this. Try to have the attitude of getting to know me and Puppy's interactions, which will involve, more playing with his toys together. He had a shopping spree while I was in the hospital, and it was cute. So playing together, enjoying each other's company as littles more. And I kind of actually told him, for the most part, like, him flip-flopping, because that's what he kind of wanted to do, was be able to flip-flop. Be daddy when needed, go back to puppy. Be daddy when needed, go back to puppy. I kind of put my foot down about that and said, there's no way Kai can function like that, because with that level of uncertainty, when Kai is that uncertain, he walls up. He goes behind the wall, and that's that. So I kind of told Andrew, like, I can't do that. That is just way too much anxiety. But with Hannah being here as a big and willing, it opens it up to me being much more free to, just be Kai. Just let him out. So that's what we're doing. But it was a very emotional weekend. I will just say that. It was an emotional weekend. Jake, to answer your question, yes, I have been home since Friday. They only kept me in just to monitor because of the blood clot and stuff. Well, monitor and do an antiviral is what they did. But because I had the blood clot at the same time, my oxygen was dropping if I even stood up, but especially if I walked at all. And I went to the ER in the first place because the infectious disease doctor who is following COVID in the town, or is the doctor for COVID mainly, he wanted me to go to the ER because I passed out. My heart rate was super sky high, like super high. Excuse me. And he was just worried because I am so high risk. They all made, between him and the doctor at the hospital, they made the decision to admit me. So all they did was medicate. And stuff like, they couldn't even have respiratory therapy doing stuff with me because of the blood clot. They didn't want to risk dislodging it before it had a chance to get the blood thinners working. So like, I wasn't even doing breathing things. It's called an incentive spirometer. It helps you breathe deep to avoid pneumonia. But yeah, so they just monitored and did the meds and stuff and kept me for 3.5 days. And then I've been home. I'm doing okay. It's definitely taking a toll on my body. Um, my energy levels are extremely low. Simply pooping is like the only task I can complete all day. Like that's the amount of exertion I can do is go poop, or take a shower. But we did get a shower chair, which is awesome because I can actually take a shower without causing myself to basically pass out. But my heart rate is still kind of high. But it was like um, when I got my COVID test on Monday, they checked my pulse ox while I was there, but it also checks your heart rate. She stuck it on my finger. And it started off at 170. Within about 30 seconds, it went down to 140. And she's like, I need you to sit down. Your heart rate is really high. And it stayed that high. It was just like, it was fast. That's the other reason they kind of chose to admit me was that. Now they didn't do anything for the heart rate. Like they didn't even run fluids, which they should have. But oh well, that doesn't matter. But yeah, just monitoring, making sure that nothing happened in the first 24, 48 hours of a blood clot and all that. So, but now I'm on blood thinners for 3 months. Yay me. At least 3 months, I should say. We'll see how it goes after that. But my heart rate was high because I have dysautonomia, some sort of orthostatic dysautonomia. We're not sure exactly what it is, but so when I'm up, like my normal heart rate is like 70, 80, resting heart rate. Right now, like I'll take it right now. It might be a little higher right now because I am drinking coffee. But where is that thing anyway? Is it still out? Oh, there it is. Let's see what it's running right now. 112. Resting heart rate, 112. The minute I get up. So yes, a couple days ago, was it before or after COVID? I'll say it was probably before I went in. Yeah, it was the day. It was Monday. It was Sunday or Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. We were getting garbage, right? And I went upstairs to collect the diapers out of my room to put in the garbage. Walking up the stairs sent my heart rate to 140. Sitting there doing diapers and stuff, I sat on the floor and just was putting them in the bag because I was lazy. I put them on the floor instead of in the trash can because I didn't have a bag up there. Just sitting on the floor putting diapers in a bag, 160. It's not supposed to do that. So yeah, they were like, no, you can't leave your heart rate that high. But it's also the dysautonomia too, so it's got kind of two edges of the, same thing. Hi Yuki, yo. But yeah, I didn't expect my port to hurt this much after what he did yesterday. Like, he legit sprayed a bunch of saline in it and put some stitches in it. You numbed me up good. I didn't even feel him. Like, I didn't even feel him tugging or anything. But it hurts a lot today. It hurts a lot, like comparatively. It hurts a lot. Like, it almost feels like I just had surgery again, except for I have the range of motion. But the port area itself feels like it did when I had surgery. I'm like, A heck. But at least at the moment, I don't know what the culture from around here hurts. Um, no. Never, never, never. Um, I lost my train of thought. That's brain fog for the win. I'm a little bit wet. What was I saying? Something about my port. Oh, cultures. They did blood cultures and a culture around the fluid that was in this thing in the pocket. And the surgeon's like, I honestly probably won't go off of the one from your area because he's like, you culture anybody's skin and you're gonna grow something because it's our bodies are colonized with it. He was more worried of bloodstream infection, which is really, really, really bad. From what I saw through my patient portal, it looks like so far the blood culture hasn't grown anything, which is awesome. Like I will happily go without having an actual infection in my port. That would be awesome. Because that means once I'm done with antibiotics, we can use it again. But he's like, honestly, there are only so many times you can read a port. And he's like, if I have to put another one in, he's often get into um, a vicious cycle of infection and whatnot. So he is trying everything to salvage this. Um, but yeah, he's like I am. He's utterly shocked and surprised that I have an infection. I've only had this for a little over a month. He's like, I do over 100 ports a year, and I have about 2 to 3 port infections a year. And he's like, mind you, I'm doing these on chemo patients who are, immune system is just absolutely shredded. He's like, and I only get 2 or 3 infections a year. So he's like, the fact that you have an infection is really rare, especially this early on. And I'm like, dude, you gave me a statistic of, oh, this only happens to that 1% of people. I am always the 1%. And apparently, except for when it comes to COVID. My mom called me. By the way, my grandfather is in the hospital right now, or at least he was last night. I need to text my mother and ask her what is what is going on. My grandfather's in the emergency room for probably an intestinal blockage. However, while it's not necessarily a serious thing, he's 91, and he actually has an ostomy because he has diverticulitis and he had GI bleeds and they had to remove his colon. And this is on the side of the family that doesn't have the genetic disease. But he's been in a lot of pain the last few days and started refusing to eat and drink. So his daughter took him to the ER, and I don't know anything yet. My mom was on the phone with me when she got a call from my grandma, but my 91-year-old grandfather, who's just an old man and is like just done with life. He's he's just so tired. He doesn't have energy. He's really, really skinny. Like, he's an old man. So I'm hoping that at the very least we have enough time where he's, like if he's gonna pass, he's gonna pass. But in that case, I want to go see him. you know, so it sucks. And this is it's my mom's stepfather, but he has been married to my grandmother since before I was born. So he is, we're all of his grandkids adore the heck out of him. He's a really good grandpa. But so keep him in your thoughts, prayers, and all that. And my grandma too, because she's not allowed up at the hospital right now. Like in New York, they're not letting anybody up at the hospital. My mom said because my mom lives like 20 minutes from my grandmother, and they won't let anybody go up there right now. But yeah, now I'm gonna have dry mouth all day because I drank coffee. That's the other thing we're working out. Is hydration, because I can't do water unless I want to completely react. I so things, and in that involves things like most juices, most sports drinks, most anything really. I can't do it. I can do some juices, especially real juices. I can do juices in moderation. And I can do Gatorade in moderation. Although I had a couple days in the hospital where Gatorade was okay. It wasn't good, but it was okay. I got home and my body has decided Gatorade is bad again. But coffee is life for me, yes. And actually, I went a week without coffee just to see if stopping coffee was enough, because I've been kind of testing it out and seeing like, okay, is coffee an issue? Because I drink the water and everything. Like right now, my mouth is so dry. But I did not notice enough of a difference to keep me from drinking it. So I started drinking it again. I don't want to ever. I hate going without coffee. For the sheer fact of I like the taste. But hydration wise, we're really trying to figure it out, because a lot of times once you start once you start IV hydration as your only source of hydration, you're probably never going to come off of it. Which those of us who have mast cell or POTS and stuff, that's not as much of an issue. But the goal is to keep me self-hydrating through liquids as long as possible. So our current plan is we went out and bought a case of coconut water from Aldi's. We went to Aldi's because it was cheaper. It's not cheaper anymore, but it was cheaper. So we're doing we got a case of coconut water and a bottle of V-Fusion strawberry banana juice, because plain coconut water is nasty. And I can't do the pineapple one very much because pineapple affects my mouth a lot. So yeah, we mix the juice in. I mix it at a 3-to-1 ratio. So what I do is 3 jugs. We bought a 4-liter pitcher, and it fits perfectly 3 things of coconut water and enough, and then the juice to mix it in, just so it's not so gross. I have some right here. It's still a little too coconut watery for me. We're gonna try orange juice next time, because I did have orange juice in the hospital and at home and did okay with it. So we're gonna go with coconut water and orange, like 3/4 coconut water, 1/4 orange juice. But for now, we have a case of that and the other juice. So, but that's literally all I've been able to drink. I had a Capri Sun. I did have some Capri Suns. Those went okay, not great, but okay. So long as it's mostly not water. Like coffee is legit coffee and water. With juices and things like that, there's other stuff in there. Blah 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 blah. I did drink some straight water because I'm like, I just want water. I miss water. Like I crave the water. And so, yeah, I'm a little bit reactive. If I get like all slur speech, I did take medicine. I took both Benadryl and my cough medicine, so I'm loopy. I am oh so loopy. Oh, That combination of having just drank coffee and then drinking that, really bad. Oh yeah, and this is funny. So they gave me an IV antibiotic, right? It gave me the most nasty taste in my mouth. And the only thing I can compare it to was when I was a thumb sucker. My mom used to put aloe vera on my thumbs to keep me from sucking it. Didn't work. So every morning I'd wake up to a very blech taste in my mouth. Um, that's what I think. That's what it was like. It was just this horrid taste. It's not as bad today. Like, it was bad the day I got it, and then yesterday it was kind of. It wasn't horrible. Okay, it's not too bad, but oh my god, that taste is disgusting. My mom used to try so many things to get me to stop sucking my thumb. Like, first was aloe vera. She'd cut off the aloe vera plant and literally rub it on my thumbs. Then she tried molasses, which is how we found out I actually love molasses. What else did we try? Hot sauce? No. I don't know. She even made this crazy concoction where, you know those plastic curlers that they used to have. So it was like this tall, and she used to stick it on my thumb, and then put a glove over me. That was kind of funny because it's like I would always end up out of it because I could pull my thumb down and we tried everything to get me to stop sucking my thumb. Lemon juice. Why would I do lemon juice? Lemon juice is citrus for the most part is not okay for mast cell. In the small amounts that I'm going to be doing it, I can manage orange juice. But in general, with one of my medications, I'm not supposed to do much, and I'm not supposed to do grapefruit. I love grapefruit. But the citrus fruits are very high in histamines usually, so I can't typically do much citrus at all. Other than orange juice, apparently. And also, lemon juice is disgusting with coconut. Oh. No, my mom never tried lemon juice. Because I actually liked 99% of what she tried as far as putting things on my thumbs. I liked. And this is a funny story about thumb sucking, right? So I have a sister who is 22 months older than me. And we were both thumb suckers. She's the one that taught me to suck my thumb. When we were 8 and 10, my mom took us to the orthodontist because the dentist really wanted us to stop sucking our thumbs. So we go into the office, and he's showing us the habit breaker, it's called. And it's this thing that goes onto your teeth, and it almost has like a spiky thing, so it kind of pokes your thumb. But also, you can't suck because there's a bar that goes across the top of your teeth, and it keeps you from getting that suction. So you just don't suck. So the model of it was sitting on the desk. And while the orthodontist is showing us this thing, this is what it would do. It'd go here, this is what it looks like. My sister, because they had it on a mouth mold, right? They had a mold of the mouth in the device. She thought that he was going to put the entire mold in her mouth. She never sucked her thumb another day in her life because she was so terrified of having that thing put in her mouth. I, the younger and less gullible one, understood that it was just the bar that would go in there. That didn't deter me one bit. I sucked my thumb until I think I was like 11 when I stopped sucking it during the day. And I was 16 when I thought I had broken myself of the habit at night. I have come to find out that was not the case. Apparently, I sucked it in my sleep all the time. My sisters would be like, "Yeah, you were sucking your thumb last night. You were sucking your thumb last night." Like, whatever, it happens. Then when I got sick, at 18 I started, like at home at least, sucking my thumb again. And then I quickly switched to a pacifier because I'm like, nope, in hospital too much, too many germs, not sucking my thumb. I mean, but however, like if I'm still like now, if I don't have my pacifier around and I am super tired and stuff, I will suck my thumb. But I don't that often because germs and yuck. So yeah. Oh, it's kind of snowing out. I'm mad about that. I don't like the snow. Not that I can go anywhere. I'm on quarantine till the 28th. Um, yeah. The only place I am allowed to go is if I need to go to the hospital. I'm tired of being cooped up in my house. Like, I don't have the energy to do much, but I hate being like, I have to stay home. Also, Andrew is still working because he had COVID before, and you cannot catch COVID in a 3-month period. Like, if you have COVID, you're fine for the next 3 months. So he is able to work. He can be he can still carry it, I guess. I think, I don't know exactly, but he's mostly works outside, so not that big a deal. He just wears a mask and does what he can outdoors or in the shop. Hannah did go get tested. She's not showing any symptoms, but she did get tested a few days in. She was negative. And so, yeah. But this is the interesting thing. This is how crazy COVID is. Seriously. So, Hannah's sister is a nurse who works at a hospital. Her sister got COVID. Who she should be done with quarantine now, but her sister got COVID. So that meant because her sister and her kids live with their parents, they all had to quarantine. None of Hannah's family, except for her sister, got COVID. None of them. And we've had COVID in the house twice so far. Hannah has not caught it. So I don't know what's in the blood, but give me some of it. And yes, I will be getting the vaccine as soon as I am allowed to. We'll probably do flu shot here before too long, although it's almost going to be over by the time I get my flu shot. We were going to do my flu shot we were going to do my flu shot, but then Andrew got COVID and we had to quarantine. We were going to do it again, but I have been quarantined, so. But I will definitely be doing the vaccine because from what I'm hearing, the second time is really hard. There's a different, I mean, like it's a more virulent strain, I guess, that's out there now. So we're getting you vaccinated as soon as possible. But they do have to watch me for reactions when I have those. I didn't end up using it because I forgot to pack my clip. And when I'm in the hospital, what I typically do is clip it to my blankie. I didn't end up using it really because I did not want to drop it on the floor and shit like that. Because it is my Nux 7, and it would cost me an arm and leg to replace that nipple. Like, I didn't want to risk dropping it. So I didn't use it. Yeah, so No one made fun of me. No one commented because I didn't have it out. I did, however, have Mio and my blankie out at all times. So, but our hospital is, guys, our hospital is fantastic. Our nurses, like, we're considerably, we're in a small town. You know, it's not many it's not a big hospital. I think it's 3 floors tall, and it's not big. But my God, our staff are amazing. Like, I had not really had much contact or experience with inpatient, how the nurses work. Um, I've only experienced the ER. And we actually, not long before COVID, we went and got some snacks and treats and dropped them off for the ER team because they've been so wonderful that we wanted to show our appreciation. So we bought them a bunch of individually packed snacks and stuff. But seriously, the nurses up on that COVID floor were amazing. But it was interesting while I was in the hospital. I'm actually going to talk to my doctor about going on another medication and seeing how it helps, because while I was in the hospital, they were giving me, they were offering me meds. So I even like, yes. They offered Xanax. I'd never taken Xanax before, but I was so much calmer being on my own than I've ever been in the hospital. Like I wasn't anxious. I wasn't depressed. I wasn't scared. I was just chill. Mind you, that's probably also the Benadryl hydrocodone they had me on. But hi, you're not gonna lay in the chair. You're gonna lay over there. I'm being stared at from behind a pile. So this is a mildly funny story, right? We, as you guys may not have known, actually, I don't think I told you guys this. We got rid of the one part of our sectional couch. We still have my part, obviously. We threw away the other part because A, it was broken. B, this couch is just terrible. But we didn't have. When we buy me a replacement, we're probably gonna do a recliner, and we want to be able to put money into it. But the couch was hurting Hannah's back really, really, really bad. So she wanted to switch to a papasan chair, which Andrew already had a papasan chair. My hip is trying to pop. Hang on. I might lose you guys. Come right back if you do. But I just have to put my leg down. So we replaced the couch with a papasan chair. Now my headphones are stuck in my onesie. But we also ended up replacing Andrew's papasan chair because it's a year old. It was broken, It lasted a year, and we're surprised it did. But he decided, with this whole I'm going to be puppy thing and whatnot, he wanted a better snuggle spot than just the two papasan chairs next to each other. So he bought a futon. A little $150 futon. Well, he decided he wants to have his plushies down on his futon for snuggling, right? So he brings down all his favorite plushies. First off, he has a giant, like my Neo plushie, like it's a 3-foot Black Panther. His name is Felix, and is one of Andrew's favorites. He brought that down. I have never seen Leo so scared. So Andrew was in the bathroom or something like that. The plushie Felix was on the futon, and Leo is on the ottoman, out in the middle of the room. And all of a sudden, I see him like slink forward. His tail goes foof, and he starts growling. No, that was a different time. But anyway, Andrew's back on the futon, right? And I told him he's terrified of Felix, like legit terrified of this plushie. So Andrew takes the plushie, or starts to pick up the plushie, and Leo like jumps and freezes and shakes. And Andrew stuck it in his face. But when he moved it toward Leo, oh my god, that cat did like the almost did the cartoon thing where they jump, they do the um he did that. And then like Andrew thought for a while, like we thought he was getting used to it. But I kept coming in here and finding him just like staring and growling. Yeah. Also, Leo is. I'm questioning if they did Leo's neutering properly. Because you know how cats need? Well, Leo's taken that to a whole new level. He's not like humping it exactly, but he's pretty close to it. And if anybody leaves a plushie laying around, especially a specifically textured plushie, he will meet it and kind of try to mate with it. So Andrew has all these plushies down here, right? We just bought him this meerkat a little bit ago. He has a giant dog we bought him for either his birthday or Christmas or something. He has a couple other plushies down here. And the thing with Andrew and his plushies, they are very special to him. They are very important to him. His little side, like legit, his little side basically thinks they're real animals. But I have caught Leo several times trying to mate with different plushies on the futon. And it's not just plushies, he tries to mate with blankets and things like that too. He's weird. Andrew, well, Puppy got really upset by this. Like, really mad. He actually got in trouble for his reaction to that. Because he whacked my cat. But I get up this morning, because I keep telling him, if you don't want the cats to mess with your plushies, you either cover them with a blanket or take them upstairs. There's a pile of plushies now, all covered up in his Paw Patrol blanket on the futon. To protect them from Leo. But also, I had to take my plushies up. Benny seems to be fine so far. He hasn't gone after Benny. But you guys saw that giant sloth I got. Leo tried mating with that. I took it away. Later that night, he tried to mate with the sloth I got for Christmas. Took that one away. So no plushie is safe in our house at this point. They're just not safe. They will be molested by a cat. Isn't it? I have decided, so I'm weird with plushies. I love plushies. However, I'm also really weird about wearing them out. There's certain ones that I have that I sleep with all the time. Like my Dumbo plushie never leaves my bed unless I'm snuggling it down here. It never leaves my bed. And Neo goes all over the place with me. And then we had Morpheus is currently in the plushie pile in retirement. But when it comes to my plushies, I don't typically like to sleep with them because A, I get bloody noses, B, I have a diaper, and I just don't want to risk getting things on them like that. So we have decided Benny is a downstairs plushie. And that way he won't get damaged and hurt by being in bed with me. I mean, Leo has always been a needer. He has always been a Smurgle kitty. By the way, the kneading thing that they do when they go into a trance-like state, when they do that, it's called smurgling. So Leo was not quite as much of a smurgler as Snitch was, but he's getting there. And had certain things he would smurgle on. Very, very particular things. Now he pretty much smurgles on any blanket, pillow, plushie that he can find. Everything he's not supposed to. No, we don't care if he does it to blankets. Except for Hannah's one blanket, she doesn't like when he does it, but it's the perfect fabric that he absolutely loves. So, yeah. But anyway, I was saying all that because Simon is on the futon, and all I could see beyond the plushies was his head. It was super cute. Oh, speaking of all this that's gone on with the couch changing and everything, I'm not sure if it's that or if it's just that it's been almost a year, but in the last month, Simon's entire confidence level, attitude, everything has changed. And for the good. He is super confident now. Like, he spends more time downstairs. Like, he comes seeking attention from us all the time. He'll walk up to Andrew and just demand pets. He's starting to get more vocal. Like, he's meowing at us more. But he's like, legit, I'm going to find a place and I'm going to lay downstairs for the day. He's being super, super confident about himself, which is awesome. And I don't know, this is the reason I don't know if it's just because he's been here a year or if it's because of the couch. Like, y'all know Simon used to eat next to me on the couch, right? Well, when we took out the couch on this side, we got a shelf. And I'm like, oh, we're going to feed Simon there from now on. I've tried to get him his own blankie. He doesn't do it. And it has to be a very particular type of fabric. Like, I know what fabric I would need. It's just a matter of getting it. But we decided to start feeding Simon on the bookshelf so that it's a hard surface. It's just a better location in general. We do have to feed him by me because otherwise Leo will eat all his food. But also we didn't want it to go because they spill the food down behind the couch. So we didn't want to keep doing that. And since we've moved his food here, like, the cat is eating better. And he's standing up to Leo a little bit more when it comes to his food. Sorry, my ears are itching like crazy right now. But, like, his entire attitude has changed. He is a lot more calm, a lot more interactive, and everything. He's just doing so well. On the 16th is the 1-year anniversary that we've had them. The 12th is the 1-year anniversary of Snitch passing. So that's coming up, and I'm not looking forward to that, actually. I think on the 12th I want to put Leo's ashes in at least some of his ashes, or not Leo, Snitch, into a resin piece. Yeah. I never call the cats the right name. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit buzzed and itchy. I call Simon Snitch all the time. Or I'll be like, Leo and Snitch this. No, that's not the right name. But no, they're doing good, and I'm so happy we have them. Leo's a little terror. But he's cute. He's good with me. He behaves with me because I've trained him a little bit more than they have. I need to do some more training with him. Sorry, my ears, my meds are starting to kick in, so it's itching me a lot. Saw a comment. Let's see. Yeah, but but anyway, I think I'm gonna go, guys, because I'm getting really loopy. And I'm gonna go ahead and watch some TV, and if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. But hopefully next week we'll be back to work and be streaming more. It's also my voice is kind of going because I've been talking a lot. I can feel it getting scratchy. So. But anyway, I will be back when I'm back. I'm not sure. I might stream tomorrow, but I don't know. We'll see. But I'll talk to you guys later.